Howdy y'all, welcome to HAZEandBARREL CRAFTWORKS. I'm the Alchemist. Today's bottle is from a small craft distillery right here in the state of South Dakota where I'm from. And it's another bottle that's commemorating the 250 years of the good old United States, 1776 to 2026. And this is a special design bottle. From the label, the neck label, the shape of the bottle, everything from this distillery. Here on the label you see the 250 years for the US, the American Eagle, state of South Dakota on the label, and on the neckband you see Mount Rushmore, which is what South Dakota is most likely most famous for. We're probably not so well known for all of our agriculture that is the biggest industry in South Dakota. Most people know Mount Rushmore, although sometimes people don't know if it's in South Dakota or North Dakota, but it's South Dakota. And right on the bottle you can see most of what this bottle is about. It's a South Dakota straight bourbon whiskey finished with toasted oak. So being a straight bourbon whiskey, you know that it's got to be aged in brand new charred white oak barrels, which it is. This comes in at 100 proof. What I do know also, or what I was able to find out but not necessarily confirm, is that it's aged for 5 years before it was finished in those toasted oak barrels. So pretty excited to give this one a try and see what we can find out. One thing that I really love about this distillery is how grain to glass they are. They are on a grow all of their own grains, and when I say grow, they themselves, they plant, grow, harvest, bring the grains in and mill everything, all the grains, for their whiskeys and bourbons. And for the signature series bottles, bourbons, all of the grains are heritage grains. So a heritage corn, a heritage rye, a heritage wheat. The only thing that they don't do is they don't malt their own barley. So that's done outside the facility. So pretty good grain to glass distillery right here in South Dakota on a 7th generation farm, and they do a nice job. So enough of me rambling on about Black Fork Farms. And let's get to this bottle. Let's see what they did for their 250th anniversary special edition. The first thing I get, I get the oak barrel right away. Say barrel spices. And before taking my sips, the barrel spices are a bit strong, like the cinnamon and clove right now. But a lot of times after my sips, things soften up a little bit and things change a little bit. But right now it's cinnamon and clove. I'm getting a little bit of vanilla in there. And there's a sweetness way in the back. And it's not caramel like a typical bourbon. It's more syrupy, like maybe I'm gonna go with maple syrup and just way in the back there. But let's take our sips and see what we get. Right off the bat, the Kentucky Chew, right onto the mid palate. Right after the Kentucky Chew, it's caramel. Caramel and a little bit of rye spice, which I was not able to find much about the mash bill on this, other than there was some indication that this is a high rye bourbon. And so that would explain that bit of rye spice that I'm getting on this, but that caramel is really predominant. And there's some nice oak in here. Yeah, a little bit of fruit, like orchard fruits. Like maybe if you've had dried apples, dried pears, you know, the dried apples where they get a little bit leathery and that kind of a sweetness. It's kind of like that. But then in the back, or behind all those flavors yet, there's a bit of grain. And this is one thing that I love about heritage grains. I always get that nice grain somewhere always on the palate. And this is coming still in the mid palate. This graininess, almost like a honey-covered cereal type of grain. So, but now as the finish is coming along, the finish is like a medium to long finish, I'd say. The oak is nice. And there's still the baking spices, but I say the cinnamon's a little bit longer, or a little bit more prominent. That rye spice completely dissipated by now. And a touch of smokiness, which I attribute to one of Black Fork Farms' processes that I find unique to them, is they take for the Signature Series, they take their grains, the heritage grains, and they put them in a small grain bin, and they smoke those grains with specific woods, and put just a touch of smokiness in it. And it's not like the process of peating a scotch. It's different than that. It just puts a nice light smokiness to it, and in my opinion, I think that's what I'm picking up here in the finish. And it's a delightful hint of smoke on this finish that just ties in that cinnamon and that oak together, and this little bit of sweetness that I've still got hanging on in the back of my palate. And this 100 proof is just the right proof to pull everything together that you've got on this expression. So if you're in South Dakota, find somewhere to grab this. If you're anywhere else in the state, I do know that Black Fork Farms ships to most states. This is really one that you've got to grab. It is a really good expression to celebrate 250 years, to celebrate this country. And also it's a good, very good whiskey, just showing what South Dakota can do, or what a South Dakota distillery can do. We know what we're doing out here. I know y'all need to go to the website and grab this bottle, maybe grab a few other of the Black Fork Farms bottles as well. It's good stuff. And another thing I know is, I know that I love to have y'all coming back around, so please, take it easy. Don't drink and drive. Cheers.